What's up world? My name is Sarah and welcome back to another episode of whatever it is that we're doing here. Alright, enough dibble-dabble rambling. 3-piece lounge outfit.
Use that lawyer money.
And this is kind of going to be a test use in public. Maybe?
Gonna be okay.
There's a bit. A creamy off-white and go from there. Probably, hopefully, make a second pair down the line somewhere in the bins. And because diving into this sewing extravaganza new path,
oh shit, I was recording.
like a cardigan, either or, it doesn't matter, relatively cute. Let's just get to work because we got some sewing to do. Today I am going to attempt to sew a 3-piece lounge outfit. I went to the fabric store and rummaged around in the bins and found some really beautiful, colorful, all kinds of fabric. But I ended up buying this blanket-like, very soft, a creamy off-white with a bit of texture on it because, like I said, we are going to make a lounge set. So something comfortable and cute I can wear around the house. And this is kind of going to be a test because we are making the pants that I rave about. So these are wide-legged, relatively high-waisted, relaxed pants that I always rave about. I love these and I kind of want to try and make more of these. So if this turns out relatively cute, I could make a pair that I can use in public, maybe? Now, along with the pants, I'm going to attempt to make a basic tank. This is just my sample that I'm going to trace for the top. And if I have enough fabric, the third piece is going to be like a cardigan thing. It's going to be a super simple sewing project, at least the cardigan, if we have enough fabric. I think we do. There's a bit. So what I'm going to do is start with the pants, lay the fabric out, and then I'm going to trace the black pants that I already have onto the fabric and go from there. Now, for the pants, I'm going to need the fabric, scissors, sewing machine, and elastic for the waistband. Now, this is a thicker elastic that I thrifted actually, and there's so much that I can probably, hopefully, make a second pair down the line somewhere when I find a cute fabric for that. But today we are going to wrap ourselves in a blanket-like 3-piece suit, 3-piece lounge set. All right, enough dibble-dabble rambling. Let's get to work because this might be a long project. Now, before I get in, I do want to mention that I am a very beginner sewer and I am using my sewing machine. I don't have one of those, I don't even know what it's called, the one that cuts and sews at the same time. Anyhow, if you are a beginner sewer or beginner anything, don't make that an excuse that you can't try at least, because diving into this sewing extravaganza new path has really opened my eyes and doors for me to try new things. And I hope this encourages you to maybe make your own 3-piece set loungewear. So let's just get to work because we got some sewing to do. All right, now that I have the one leg on this side of the fabric, I've left a bunch of room down here because I want the lounge pant that I'm making to be a little bit longer than what these are, the black ones. Now I'm going to trace this onto the fabric we have and flip it over and do the other side and then cut the pieces. All right, I have a blue crayon because the white chalk that I have is a little bit flimsical. Anywho, let's draw these pants. All right, so now I have my blue lines. I don't know if you can see them, but they're there. I am going to cut the pieces and then we're just gonna start sewing. Now, what I did was I traced these existing pants onto the fabric. I made the ones that I traced a little bit longer because these are slightly cropped, and I also added about an extra couple of inches to the waist so I can then fold the elastic, and I hope it makes sense. But like I said, let's cut the pieces and then sew each pant leg together from the behind. All right, now I have 2 pieces for the right leg, 2 pieces for the left leg. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to sew all of the sides with the zigzag so it stays put. And then we're going to sew first the right leg and then the left leg, or either or, it doesn't matter, the back seam of. So this part where it sticks out, this all the way down to the ankle. We'll do that on both of the pants, and then we're going to combine both of the legs. I hope that makes sense. All right, all 4 pieces are now sewn clean. Gosh, I really need to learn the terms because I'm actually really enjoying sewing. And speaking of enjoying sewing, this fabric, even though it has stretch in it, it's not being eaten by my sewing machine because a lot of the times I'm very discouraged because of the fabric, because the sewing machine is not struggling, but there's some issues with it. So I have to be very careful on what fabric I'm able to and even want to sew. So I'm super happy that this fabric is very forgiving. Now, the next thing for this project is to sew the front piece and the back piece of each leg together, and yeah, I'll just show you what I mean. All right, so the front piece that's below and the back piece that is on top are going to be sewn from the crotch all the way down to the ankle, and I'm gonna do it on both the right and left leg, and then we're gonna attach them together. So I'm gonna sew these, just a regular stitch to attach each pant leg to each other. And you want to sew it so the outside of the pants are facing each other. You know that, I don't have to tell you. All right, more sewing. Okay, so I pinned the seam that I'm going to sew, even though the fabric is quite, I guess it's because it's heavy, it doesn't really move or budge, but I secured it with pins just in case, and I'm going to straight stitch it to each other. All right, now we have 2 legs semi-ready. We're gonna attach them together and go from there. Here is 1 leg, and we're going to attach the other leg. And the part we are going to attach is from the crotch all the way up to the waistline. And yes, here we go. All right, so here we have 1 leg, and the other leg we have pinned from the crotch all the way up to the waistline. And let me just show you what it's gonna look like, because this might be confusing, but bear with me. All right, so this is what it looked like, and now this is what it's gonna become. So yeah, trust me, I was a little confused too. All right, now that we have sewn our crotch, we will flip the pants. Wait, let me here. So we can like sew like that. Now I'm going to sew each of the outer seams, and then we can attach the elastic for our waist, and we will hem the bottom nicely and neatly, and then we will make a top. All right, sewing the sides. All right, I am pinning them inside out, obviously, because we want the clean side on the right side. This fabric is so nice. It's like a blanket. All right, now the outer seam is sewn together. Now we have actual pant-looking pants. These are still inside out because I have some elastic. I'm going to measure my waist, and usually when you do a elastic waist, you want to cut a little shorter, about 1 inch or 2, depending on where it hits you on your body. But I'm gonna measure mine and probably take like maybe 1 inch, 1.5 inches off, and then I'll show you what we're gonna do. All right, I measured about 28 inches for my waist. I am going to cut a piece of the elastic about 26.5, so it's a little snugger than my waist. That's what you want when you have the elastic waistbands in your pants. It's getting all tangled up. And then I'll show you how I'm gonna attach it. Okay, before we attach it to the pants, I'm just going to sew this together so it's one piece. All right, here is the elastic, and what we want to do is we want to fit this on to, so you want to find the middle parts. So this one here, let's mark it with a pin. So this is going to go even with the back seam, and this is going to be even with the front seam, and then also the sides. So here is one side, and find the other side. That's going to be here, And then we're going to line it up on, like, this is my back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this, sew this, and then we can flip it, sew it, and then it's going to be a nice clean edge on the outside. So now I have the 4 corners pinned, and the fabric is going to be a little bit bigger than the elastic. That's how we made it. So when I sew this here, I'm going to kind of gently pull on it, and that's going to kind of create a little bit of that crinkle. And then we're going to fold and sew this side. Because ideally you want the elastic to be what's holding your pants up. All right, now the elastic is attached here. Like I said, we are gonna flip it and sew just a straight stitch here to secure it, and then it'll be like a nice clean edge on the right side. Now we're gonna fold and hem the pant legs, and our pants are ready. So we can move on to our second piece of the 3-piece lounge set. I always double fold. I just like that cleaner double fold look. Now we're gonna do a top. I have this white basic tank that I'm just gonna trace and cut and sew. So cue the music. I have now folded the fabric in half, and this is the opened end down here, and this is where the fold is. Now I'm going to leave the fold here because that's where I want the shirt to fold. We're going to trace the shirt with our handy dandy crayon pen, and I don't know if you can see, but down here this is shorter, and that's on purpose. I want the lounge set t-shirt or top to be a little cropped, so I'm just gonna crop it where it is, and then we're gonna fold it when we sew it. It'll be perfect. I'm also gonna draw a bit of a wider strap, and because this line here is the back, when I flip it, I'm going to just slightly, half an inch lower for the front piece, so it'll look neater, or that's just the look I want. Okay, let's trace. Oh, dang pen. Don't die on me now. All right, here is our top. I'm going to start by sewing the sides. So from here to here, actually, I lied. What I'm gonna do first is I'm going to seal all the way around the whole pattern, and then we're going to sew the sides here. Let's get sewing. For pinning, I'm just going to pin this side and this side. And for the rest of the top, I'm going to fold. I'm going to do a double fold again. I'm going to fold it and just sew. I'll probably do a double stitching again on all of the neckline and the arms and on the hem here. So let's start by pinning and sewing the sides, and then we could do the double fold. All right, let's sew the sides. Let's fold the sides. All right, I pinned it. It looks kind of crazy, but I'm going to sew the sides. I'm also going to do the double stitching like I did on the pants. And then it'll be ready, which means we can then attack our last piece of our 3-piece lounge set. But first things first, let's sew this. And just like that, our top is ready. All right, now that I had a little bit of lunch, I am ready to tackle the last final piece of the 3-piece lounge set, and that is going to be a cardigan pullover. And this is going to be the easiest, most simple cardigan I've ever seen made, ever. And what we're gonna do is we're going to use the remaining piece of our fabric. We're gonna cut it into a square and then just sew little arm poke hole thingies. I'll show you what I mean. So let's find our square first. All right, to find our square, we're going to line up one of our sides to the other clean cut side and line it up. Oh my goodness, going to be perfect. Now, this here is the excess, so I'm going to cut this off and show you what's next. Okay, now that we have a square, I'm going to bring these corners in and bring these corners in here. Okay, now I have pinned this part here all the way up to here. I left this open for one arm, and the same thing on this side. I pinned it all the way down to here, left this open for the other arm. I'm gonna sew this, then I'm going to fold these edges up here and down here. Also the edges of where the arm peeks out, and we are done. All right, let's try this 3-piece on. Hopefully everything fits. Wow, what a project, and mind-blowingly easy, especially for a beginner like me. I hope this inspires you, maybe not to do this outfit or even to sew, just to branch out and try something new, something that maybe you wanted to try, but you're kind of doubting yourself because you'll be a beginner, because everybody's a beginner at some point, and you can make something amazing just by putting in some time and having a little bit of patience and, I don't know, sprinkle some magic and have a bit of luck. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you did. And remember to subscribe to the channel so you can find your way back for next week's video. Take care now.
Is it comfy?
Oh my goodness, it's so, it's like, it feels like wearing a comfortable blanket. Like literally you're wearing a blanket. It's, I'm just, what? Did I make this? Oh, it's so funny.
Next up we'll make a Christmas version.
Ooh.
Of what?
Of foldage.
Use that lawyer money. Gonna be okay.
Oh my god, I love you.
Oh shit, I was recording.
Oh my god.